You're listening to The Hang with Mike Manson Waters and Matt Spice Floyd.
Wrapped up in it again. Welcome to The Hang with Mike and Matt.
Oh, hi, Mike.
Howdy, Matt.
Been a couple weeks.
Oh, my God.
So many things have happened.
Seems like just yesterday we were hanging. I've forgotten how to hang.
What are we going to do?
I don't know how to hang. We lost the mojo.
One
week that's why we can do it every week. We got to keep that mojo going.
Dude, the amount of I don't know, action that you have before we get started is insane. And you've got a rolly chair, and you'll just roll and fire up your bowl, then you roll back. But then I watch you, and you go, then you roll back and smoke another bowl. Watching you go.
I'm a master.
Yeah, the 5 minutes before this program starts is like pure insanity.
Yeah, I need a team of producers. Just turn my mic on and let me go. Yeah, I have to do everything by routine.
Oh, I get it. Yeah,
because I'm so forgetful. I'm super forgetful. Yeah, so I have to. Everything's a freaking routine. Every time I leave the house, I'm not OCD. I'm just
routine based.
I'm just paranoid.
Yeah.
About leaving the house. Like other things I don't do, but the house I go like 2 or 3 times. Okay, that's stove's off. The cat's here.
I'll do the same thing, making sure the light. Yeah, the oven. Even though I don't use the stove hardly ever, I gotta make sure it's off. Like it's just one of those things where it's like, what if it's not? And like, is everything unplugged? I
don't think your oven's gonna even start a fire.
No,
unless you got some kindling in there.
I think I don't know.
I mean, it's not going to start a fire.
For me,
I would be like, "Oh my God, the oven's on!" And I left.
Right. I think it's just ingrained in my brain from when I was a kid, the way my mom did it. You know what I mean? Like she would do like the whole like flick the light switch thing 3 times, make sure it's off. But it's like, but all around, locking the door and then open it up, trying to lock it again, like one of those things,
That's how you're brought up. Donna is super organized and super safety based.
Mm-hmm.
So after all these years living with her, I just do I'm lock that door, do this, don't leave that door unlocked. I'm just that's me.
Yeah.
I just
set the alarm, make sure
Oh my God, I gotta set the alarm.
Oh my God, yeah, without the alarm.
No, I'm not even gonna say that. Never mind.
Does it sound like a cat too in here?
A cat too?
with the fans?
Yeah. Let's.
What do you think?
Well, we'll just let the chat decide. We got a couple fans in here because it's the air's out, and it's 82 degrees in here.
These are our only fans right
here. we finally got 2 new fans, and we're gonna be talking a lot to these fans. We're gonna really chat it up with them because we really like them.
Tell us, fans.
Let's see if anybody says it sounds like shit. We got a couple fans in here because it's hot. It's hot as balls. Can't hear them, says Sean Raz. Unsold.
Okay, well, there you have it.
Sean Raz is a radio professional.
Yeah,
he knows about audio, and he said we're good to go.
An audio chain expert.
And it's not too bad with these fans. It was hot. If you didn't have a fan blowing on you, it's hot.
Yeah.
Anyway, the air's out, and it's, Florida.
Well, I walked in here. It was very kind of you. You have like a whole bucket of ice, like it's like a water with an ice day. And it reminded me of that viral video that's going on right now where the guy has his morning routine.
I want you to explain this to me because I've seen people talking about it, but I've never had the desire to check it out. So what is it?
It's just some dude. I think his name's. It's sad that I know his name. That's how much.
I'm glad I'm not the guy that knows his name.
That's what a grip this thing has taken on society in the past week. This guy Ashton Hall. God damn it! I can't believe I know. But he's just some big buff African American dude who decided to like post his morning routine, even though it's completely unrealistic and the expectations are like not even. I mean, it's so beyond.
Yeah.
And it shows him waking up at like I don't know 3:37 in the morning, and then at 3:39 he dips his face in a bucket of water with ice. But it's Saratoga Springs water, so it shows him like doing that, and then goes through every minute. Then at like 6 a.m. he's hitting the pool. By 6:04 he's out of the pool. 6:09 he's got a watch on. 6:17 he's making important business phone calls. 7 a.m. somebody's bringing him breakfast. Like it's a whole like morning routine.
Yeah.
Which again, it's literally physically impossible. I don't care who you are. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many maids you have. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's impossible.
And who would be on that time schedule?
A psychopath, or somebody who's just pretending for socials.
Somebody who's pretending for socials.
But then he dunks his head in the water again and all this stuff. The problem that I found with this whole thing, more than anything, is the fact that I went to Publix to get my LaCroix waters.
Oh, no.
And the Saratoga Springs water, which ordinarily, full shelf. All sold out. And it's all a result of this guy. The Saratoga Springs mineral water has gone through the roof as far as sales go. And I'm looking at him, I'm going, this is, like, I feel I'm living in the upside down, man. Like, society's up.
It's living in the upside down.
It is, who goes and buys spring water to put in a thing and dunk your face? Like, the whole thing doesn't make sense from A to Z. And the fact you got people actually copying that or even thinking about copying it, like, they all need to be taken out back. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm with you.
It's
but
beyond my comprehension.
So do you think that everybody went to the store and got the Saratoga Springs water and went home and made a video?
I do.
And that's why it was sold out. Everybody who was, which is most people nowadays, was like, oh my God, I'm going to put this on my feed.
And half of them, I mean, a lot of people were just mocking the dude.
Yeah, they did a parody of it.
But they're still having to buy the Saratoga Springs water to even mock the dude correctly. Like, it's all, it's so weird.
And then the weird thing is Saratoga Springs water made that video. They planted it.
I think
that's
if that's the case, then I'd go, oh, okay, smart marketing on their behalf. But instead, I'm just seeing it as a
douchebag,
a bunch of followers and wannabe trendsetters and all this.
Boy, you just gotta hit it big one viral time with some kind of bullshit.
It's a lot of fuckery going on.
Fuckery going on.
You know, everywhere I look, it's just fuckery.
Just like the cranberry juice guy. Remember the cranberry juice guy?
I do. Yeah.
And he's on a skateboard and he's listening to Dreams, I believe,
by Fleetwood Mac.
And he's drinking Ocean Spray cranberry juice. He got like a free truck and shit. He had his 15 minutes too. He was on all the talk shows and he was like, yeah, it was skateboarding and drinking cranberry juice. I mean,
like, how do you
he
even
had nothing to offer?
If you're on it, like, how do you even intro that guy to your talk show? Be like, hey, you might have seen this guy skateboarding and drinking cranberry juice. Well, here he is, but he goes out there and he's not drinking cranberry juice, nor is he on the skateboard. Like the whole, I don't know what's happening.
You feel like you're living it upside down.
For real. And then I'm watching insurance commercials with Jimmy Fallon poofing out of nowhere and then introducing Jake from State Farm, and then Jimmy Fallon disappears. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I don't know.
Jimmy Fallon is
atrociously unfunny now.
Oh, thank God. He's someone that I feel is planted by the government to dumb down America's sense of humor, because there's no other explanation for it.
He has good impressions.
He does some good impressions. He can play the guitar. He seems superficially likable.
But you know who has really good impressions? Michael Winslow from the Cop movie back in the day. They didn't give that guy a fucking late night talk show because he had stellar impressions, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's, like,
how dare you compare Jimmy Fallon to Michael Winslow?
Yeah, I know. Michael Winslow was much better. He had a ton more impressions. Oh, the chopper!
Have you ever seen the Michael Winslow does
Boy, have
Stairway
I.
to Heaven?
It's amazing. Give Michael Winslow the late night talk show, for God's sake.
I kind of want to look
This
up.
Fallon character.
I mean, he's the biggest star fucker you've ever seen in your life.
I mean, he humps every star. As soon as he's just humping. He's a dog that won't release from the humping.
with a big smile on his face.
Yeah,
like,
just
"Ah."
humping and doing it with dark glasses. And then I can't get enough of it. I'm sorry. Now I'm unzipped on Fallon because then I'm watching the. Look, I like watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Call me an idiot. It's just a tradition I've always done. I like to.
Like the big balloons, Matt.
I do. I like the big balloons.
the
I
big-
want my children to see Santa come out. I want the whole production. It's fun.
I get tradition.
Yeah. But
You
goddamn
force
it.
your kids to one. Are they
Yeah.
like forced to watch this stupid ass
When I was a
parade?
kid, I didn't realize how shitty or how bad like the lip syncing appeared to be. And then this year, it just was fucking overt. It was so blatant. And then Jimmy Fallon comes out
Oh, Jimmy Fallon.
with his black sunglasses on, and he's got the mic, and he's, I mean, not even close to singing. Like, why is he even there? Like, why is any like? Just give me more fucking balloon animals. You know what I mean? Like,
It's Jimmy Fallon.
have.
The.
You could have Gallagher smashing a watermelon. It'd be better than watching every single one of these idiots lip
It
sync.
doesn't matter. Jimmy Fallon is on network TV every night for the last how many freaking years? 10 years? You've been there 10 or something?
But I don't think anybody cares about late night TV
But-
anymore.
Well, whoever does, they love him.
You know who cares? Jimmy Fallon. Remember that nobody loves John Mayer more than John Mayer? I think nobody loves Jimmy Fallon more than Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, who did that song?
It was Richard
Oh,
Marx.
Richard Marx. Yeah.
But no, I'm really I'm all Falloned out. I'm all commercialed out with these.
There was all kind of accusations that Jimmy Fallon and Horatio Sands would prey upon underage girls at the parties at NBC.
Now, look, I don't want to side on terms of allegations, but I'll tell you what, it doesn't seem far off.
I can see those two being total nasties.
I mean, at that time, a couple young 20s dudes in 30 Rock hanging out, doing their thing. They're on a big show. Yeah, I could see that happening.
you get having sex with underage girls.
No! Oh, I didn't hear the underage part.
Yes, underage. That was
oh.
the problem.
Yeah, that's an issue. How did they get up there? I mean, let's think about that.
They're invited by Horatio Sands and Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, I haven't heard much from Horatio
that,
Sands.
That
lately.
kind of died, and so did Garth Brooks' rape allegations.
And the fact that apparently he murdered people. Allegedly.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh, yeah, that's the whole...
Who did he murder?
I don't know, it's a whole Tom Segura thing where it's...
Did he murder people after he raped them, or is it a separate occasion?
I don't know. I feel like we've had this chat at one point in time before, but it's something to do with...
We did.
There was mystery murders that took place in coincidentally like the same cities that he was touring in.
Like he's a serial killer.
Yeah, and they're unsolved, but like he's the only connection that they can find between these cities.
Nothing against Garth Brooks, but I pray for that to be true and for him to get caught. Because that's the best news story you'll ever hear in your lifetime.
It's
when at one time the biggest country
Right?
singer in the world was murdering people on the sly.
right
Because
playing the stadium and then killing
It's
somebody.
just like truck drivers, if you want to do some bad stuff, you get truck driver, then you do your crime and you vamoose, and you don't come to that town again. Cops can't.
Yeah.
Cops can't find you.
It's all fascinating. I mean, look, dude, look at the Aaron Hernandez case. I mean, the guy was closeted with boyfriends. He's out there killing people. He's in a gang.
Gangster, a total gangster.
And he's playing NFL football. I'm like, this guy, like, let's...
Was there no red flags in the locker room when you talk to this guy?
That's what I mean. Not only red flags, but, like, can we give this guy a little appreciation for his ability to multitask? I mean, the guy's doing two-a-days.
Belichick knows a go-getter when he sees
I
it.
mean, dude, how do you... He was like the Elon Musk of football players. Like, how are you running so many things? All these
Impressive.
covert operations.
Impressive.
And all the stuff. It's, I don't want to give him credit, but there's...
Belichick went to his house before they drafted him, and he said, "You're telling me You can be in a gang.
Let me see your resume.
You can murder people, and you can play tight end to high level. And he's
That's
like,
right, Mr. Belichick.
You're my you're my man.
That's right, Mr. Belichick. I murdered 3 people last week, and I'm also closeted, and I can do 2 a days. What's up? I know you like. I'm hardcore.
I think he was Spanish.
Hey, Mr. Belichick. I killed 3 people last week. Is that not?
I didn't say Mexican.
Oh, what?
Spanish.
Oh, was he fine? Hello, Mr. Belichick. Yeah.
That's French.
Oh. All right. Well, all right. I've been leaving it to you for the Spanish.
I can't even do it now.
Wait, so he wasn't Mexican Spanish?
No, I don't know. I don't think he was.
Hernandez.
I'm just saying he wasn't black. You were doing more of an ethnic Afro-American accent.
Hola, Mr. Belichick.
Yeah, he was more like that, man.
Hey.
He was totally like, yeah, he liked to cap people.
I also like to drink ocean spray on skateboards.
And deal drugs.
Hey,
We deal drugs. We
vatos.
shoot people and play football. That's what I like to do, Bill.
But football's my number 1, Bill.
Yeah, he's close, though. I like to kill people a lot.
Now he's becoming Triumph the insult dog. Hey, Mr. Belichick.
I wish he was. And I wish
I also like to poop on people.
I wish Garth Brooks was a serial killer as well.
Oh, there's so many
Things could be so much fun. I hate to say it. I don't really want it to happen.
No.
I kind of do, but I want.
It's a fun story.
I want the rocket ship with
Yeah.
Katy Perry on it. So there's a part of me
Oh no!
with fingers crossed.
Really?
It's like, 'cause that's a story right there, boy. I get my songs
Well,
ready
I mean,
already.
Yeah, the baby, you're a firework.
Ooh,
I mean, that's
yeah.
just that's right in itself, right?
Katie, you're a firework.
Yeah, Katie.
I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna write it now.
Oh, you're gonna be the one after
I'm gonna,
watching
see,
the
that's an
launch.
excuse to write something,
There you go.
even though it might not happen. But I fucking need bits. I
You
need
could do
fucking
the bit,
bits.
and you could do like
I love it.
in an anticipation of.
Exactly.
Bit.
Right, the day of.
Yeah.
A little good luck send off.
Now, who's she married to? Wasn't she married to
Russell Brand.
And now she's married to who?
Oh, I don't know.
Orlando Bloom or something?
Is she? Maybe.
I don't know who the chick is in that relationship. I'm not even sure.
You think Orlando Bloom's cheating on her too?
I don't know. If he is, he's scissoring with another chick.
I think I don't know. Russell Brand's too weird. I think.
He's gotten he's doing something. I don't know what it is.
What happened with him? So he was Get Him to the Greek.
Yeah.
Was I don't know how popular it was, but I think it's a great movie, and I was just so impressed with.
Just a couple fellas that have been totally accused of trafficking and sexual assault and all that, just hanging out, putting a movie together, a comedy.
A comedy.
A nice comedy.
It's a comedy. But he performed all those songs, and I don't know what kind of hand he had in writing them. They were probably written by the guy. What's the guy's name?
Judd Apatow or something?
No, the guy he was in How I Met Your Mother. Jason Segel.
Okay.
I think he writes all that shit.
Okay.
And the music, I got the whole thing. I mean, every song is.
You celebrate the entire catalog?
I mean, they're really good songs. And usually back in the day, you'd have a movie, say like Top Gun, and the Kenny Loggins hit would be a smash, and you'd have St. Elmo's Fire, and the St. Elmo's Fire song would be a smash. It'd be a #1 song. This movie had great music. And not one of them got nothing. They got no recognition. Talk about a soundtrack. It was an original soundtrack of comedic songs, but also that were really quality songs. And I was like, and Russell Brand sang them like a fucking rock star.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he
no, you're right.
And nobody batted an eye.
Bro, soundtracks used to actually get bought. They, like
Heck yeah.
whether it's cassette, CD, choose your time period, doesn't matter. But they were like, it was like, oh, the soundtrack. Oh, ooh.
How did that become not a thing?
I mean, the iPod. I mean, really. And then,
But you couldn't sell a soundtrack digitally now.
well, before, remember?
They don't even mention the soundtrack.
Well, because before, and again, I could be incorrect on this, but
Brent Elliott.
well, what happened was, I think, they used to have separate songs that were made for the soundtrack, but now they'll just take somebody's song
Yeah.
and pay them and put it on the soundtrack.
They
you know what I mean?
they take hits
Yeah, it wasn't
They don't
like
wanna mess with-
crafted for the movie.
They
It
want
was
the
just-
people to all as soon as that they go walk into the party and the people are listening to the Police or whatever song's
Right.
going. Oh, I know that song. It's all about capitalism.
Although I would say, I mean, the Boogie Nights soundtrack to me is like a classic. Like, have you ever seen Boogie Nights?
I've never seen it. Missed out on a lot of culture back in the day. I think it was when our kids were growing up. All these movies came out, and we were too busy to see that shit. We lost an era of movies.
Well, I'll tell you what, it totally holds up. It's a really great film, at least in my
Is
opinion.
that Marky Mark?
It is, yeah. And I've always, and Burt Reynolds and Heather Graham, and I've always wanted to well, not always, but it's one of the movies like I feel like my son would like, but it's a movie that you can't watch with your son
Yeah.
no matter how old he is. Like he could
It
be
doesn't
30.
matter. It doesn't matter.
You can't be like, "Hey son, you want to watch Boogie Nights?" Like it doesn't work. It would be the most uncomfortable watch ever.
You'd be 60, and you'd be 80, and still it's like, nah, pass on that.
Yeah.
That's the worst. I mean, I think everybody's been trapped in that situation where you're watching a movie with your parents, and all of a sudden, unexpectedly, this girl's having sex and her boobs are bouncing around, and you're like, oh my god, I want to watch this. Well, fucking mom's sitting next to me. I don't want to get up, but it's like so obvious. Is it? Make it stop! Quit screwing that woman. He won't stop. Her boobs are still on this. Right?
Oh yeah,
and it's like,
dude, when I was super young, I think that was the first movie I went to at a movie theater. My mom wanted to go see Down and Out in Beverly Hills, and
who was in that? Who was in that?
Oh God, it's so messed up that I know Richard Dreyfuss. I can't remember the dude's name. Anyways,
Probably saw it. Go ahead.
but there was she wanted to go see it, but it was either PG-13. I think it was rated R. I'm not sure, but we were super young. But she was like, it was like one of those. She just wanted to go see. She had to drag us with her, and there's a sex scene in there, and like an orgasm scene and all this. And I was maybe in 3rd grade, and you could feel people in theaters when people were still going to theaters. You could feel them like eyeballing, like, why are they in here? And I'm thinking to myself, like, why am I in here? But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, you were talking about I think we probably had this discussion before. Burt Reynolds in a Boogie Nights. He was we watched the whole documentary on him about Burt Reynolds.
Yep.
And it's like he was a really likable guy. Just seemed like a really cool, likable guy. But he was a however, he's like a total narcissist, and really, kind of just cared about himself.
Was there an example of it that popped out?
Just his whole life was just kind of like.
Who was he married to? Lonnie Anderson? Why do I know that?
He was married to Lonnie Anderson for quite a while. Then they adopted, I think they adopted a son.
Okay.
And then he got addicted to painkillers, and he filed for divorce and never spoke to her again. And he was like,
boss move.
He was like, I didn't want to see it, to put him through it. But it was really kind of a cold ass move.
Man, I was looking at an article about an NBA player. Name escapes me, but I guess it's apparently fairly recent. But he paid his baby mama. It was like a $5,000 a month child support payment, and he basically just stroked the check for like just over $1 million for all 18 years up front. It's like, hey, here's the money. Fuck off.
Sign the paper.
Sign
the papers and F off.
One of those things. Because on top of it, I don't know how it works, but I would imagine the baby mom at some point down the road, let's say he lands another big contract or whatever the case is, who's to say she's not going to come back and hit him up for more? And she still might be able to. I don't know how it works, but I thought it was kind of smart of him to go, all right, here's the money for all the child support. Beat it. Not the most fatherly thing to do, but I mean, from a child support perspective, I kind of get it.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So just because you were married, okay, you have a child with somebody, and perhaps he's super wealthy. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that entitles you to be almost as wealthy as he is still.
Of course, you need to maintain the quality of life, Mike. That's the idea.
You need to give him a decent living.
You think
a good living.
Do you think anybody in
about it.
chat has gotten raked over the coals with child support?
I would almost guarantee it.
Right?
but-
I mean, dude, that's the messed up thing. I guess that's my point. Is like, if you're playing the odds, right? And what is it? The divorce rate's what, 40, 50%?
yeah.
And out of the divorce rate, you got to imagine probably 80% of that have kids involved, right? So if you're playing the odds, 4 out of 10 people have been dicked around on child support or divorce or however it goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way it is. It doesn't seem like it seems like very few people are allowed to have a civil, rational divorce. They just don't do it. They can't do it. It's like, hey, sorry about it. Let's just split it in half. Kids half, everything half. We good? All right, you get this. I agree. You get that. See ya.
Well, hold on now. Half. That's where it falls apart immediately.
Well, it depends. I mean, I'm just saying a rational
If you're
divorce.
rational divorce. But if you're a baseball player, you made $50 million, you're married to this chick for a year, and you get divorced, does she deserve half?
A woman deserves half if she has been with you throughout your entire career, and she has stayed home with the kids because that's what you want. You think that's the way a family should run, and she raises your children, lives with you for like 20 years and something. Yeah, I think you get half.
So what you're saying is an interesting thing, and one that I don't know if this exists, but like, why isn't there some sort of tiered system out there of going, okay, if you've been with this gentleman or this woman, however it goes, for 20 years, okay, and you have a kid that's aged X, like there should be a scale, right? Like, as opposed to if you've been with her for a year and she wants half your shit. Like that shouldn't be on the same scale as 20 years dealing with your shit. You know what I mean?
That sounds a little too commonsensical.
But is there not a...
I don't think there is.
Why isn't there some sort of scale?
I don't know, because we're dumb.
Oh, well, there you go.
Because everything's rigged for stuff. I mean, it's probably all about lawyers making money or something.
That's fair.
Nobody, or maybe people just can't, get married. Then when you get divorced, you can't be civil.
Well,
they just can't be civil.
Well, like the Linda Hogan thing, with her blow up or whatever. Good God, that was a weird video to watch. By the way,
sad. It's like, but it's not that sad because you're like, ugh. You just ugh. She's got everything she wanted. It's all she did it all. It's not nobody.
Well, one I would say
Nobody else did. She did it.
It all
a
tracks.
combination, but it's two. You got two somewhat trailer trash individuals. And that's what you get.
He won. They both, they won the lottery on some level.
They lasted a long time,
But I think people have a misconception about how it all went down. Like, they see her meltdown, and then they see Hogan's video of him and his new wife eating popcorn and reacting to it and all this. But like, and people are going, well, she cheated on him with Nick's friend and all this stuff. And I'm going, that's not really the way it went down. Like, there's this revisionist history. Now, whether she was a nightmare not to deal with in the house, I have no idea. I don't even care. But the fact that the timeline of people's, like the revisionist history, like people's timeline isn't correct in it. So therefore they can't, like, they're making these assumptions or making these comments about her video about, well, she shouldn't have slept with that young boy while her and him were, it's like, that's not really the timeline of how all this went. But you can't convince people of that. And
well, see, the only timeline I know was the propaganda timeline.
Right, which is
that's all I know. All I know.
Yeah, and that's what's so weird is, I don't know, man. What'd you think of the meltdown, though? Did you watch it and go,
yeah?
Oof.
I was like, please, he's complaining. You want people to feel sorry for you as your Botox bruises. What an idiot!
Yeah,
what an idiot.
Poor timing on the video.
Come on.
I guess you got to strike while the iron's hot. You got to catch yourself in that emotional moment, maybe.
I mean, how much money did she get from Hogan? Tons of money. Well, sorry, sorry you raised kids. I mean, you got Nick. Of course, your ex-husband doesn't like you. So you got one daughter that doesn't like you. Well, just move on. You're rich. Should be rich. Maybe she spent it all, but she should be rich and she should, be doing fine.
Hogan's buzzsawed through like 2 other wives. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, that he hasn't a care in the world of any of this. At least that's what it appears.
That video was.
Well, I think she got like 40% of his likeness or something along those lines.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Like in perpetuity.
Yeah. She's doing fine.
I don't know how she's doing. I mean, she's doing well enough to get Botox on a Tuesday afternoon or whatever.
Somebody was, it's like, what does she have? A bottle of vodka deep? Could be, could be just an alcoholic. I don't know.
I remember she was always lovely. That's all I know. She was always nice and sweet whenever, she was around or whatever. And I remember like back in the day, she had this place called the French Hen. Mm-hmm. And we used to have to promote the shit out of it. Oh, my God.
We did.
Just ad nauseum promoting this thing. And then I'd have to go drop her off concert tickets and whatever it was. And I'd walk in there, and there she is with, like, it was like an antique store. It was just, like, random antiques of, like, some rooster that was painted in 1942 that, you'd find everything you'd find at an estate sale was just jam-packed in this place. And you could almost tell, like, Hogan just wanted her to have this place so she could fuck off. Like, that's how it felt. It was like, here, Linda, just open up this place. Do whatever you want.
Stay busy.
Stay busy. Keep yourself busy. Make some brownies while you're there. Make a loaf of bread. Say hello to the people when they walk in. But every time I went there wasn't one person in there. And after and after like the third time I had to drop her off something there or something, I walked in and I was like, this is weird now. Like, this is weird. Like, your husband's one of the most famous guys on the planet. You're running this place pretty, there's a lot of access, right? Even if you're a mark and you want to go in there and talk to her.
Yeah.
Nobody was in there. It was very odd. And
why? Why? It's just bad. I mean, because he plugged the hell out of it. You think that people would go out of curiosity.
Out of curiosity.
And thinking you might see Hulk Hogan there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing. It was just her hanging out in a place of trinkets. In the house of trinkets.
Some side road, bad location.
It was on a side road in a bad location.
Bad food. What kind of food did they have? Was it French food?
No, I don't even. I think it was like, I think maybe she had like a baguette. But no, it was mostly just antiques and trinkets. It wasn't like a restaurant.
Oh, really wasn't? It was a restaurant.
From what I was so filled up with
trinkets,
old clocks and crosses and hens and things. I don't know what else was going on there.
Oh, so she had to be there.
Yes, to occupy the time.
Occupy the time.
Like, you're open from 9 to 5, so that means she's gonna have to be there from 9 to 5 because it's her baby, and it's like a way of maybe just, and it's gonna fail.
Hogan doesn't strike me as someone who wants to talk much to his wife at all.
Whatever.
Exactly. Leave me alone.
He'd always do that thing where somebody would have a deep conversation with him, and you could hear. I mean, I've seen that. You probably saw this happen many times, and you just go, "Huh, crazy." Like,
you got the pat answers.
Yeah, man. You could have a 10-minute conversation. Oh, I met you when I was 6, and blah blah blah. Oh, that's wild. That's crazy. Huh.
He's just waiting for a pause. He's not even listening.
No.
He's just zoned out.
Zoned out. Whatever's going on. Anyways, yeah, the meltdown was great.
Yeah. How old is she now? She got to be 70s, right?
I think she's like 65.
Oh, she's only 65?
66.
Yeah, well, you can make your own bed.
I mean, it was a fine bed. It was a fine bed.
Yeah, quit complaining. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
right. It was a very comfortable bed.
She got a very nice. She's still got a. She went, from a California king to just a regular king now.
Oh no!
So quit complaining.
You ever seen the Florida King?
It's Florida King. No, what's that?
It is a bigger bed.
Really?
Oh, it's gigantic, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me! Like, how big does the bed have to be? And they sell it at like that City Furniture place, and we'd gone in there to look at some other stuff, and they had this thing on display. There was like a family of 6, like testing it out, and they're all laying side by side, and they're doing that thing going, we should get this. We can all sleep together as a family. And I'm going,
together as a family.
God damn, that's weird. Yeah, the Florida King.
It's just a status.
Very wide.
It's just a status symbol, right?
I would have
Not
to agree.
Functional. I mean, I guess if times get really hard and you got to sleep 6 to a bed. I don't. But how much?
If Hogan has to sleep with all of his ex-wives all in one place.
How much is a Florida King? Did
Oh God, it was a few years
wise?
ago. It was like, I don't know, $5,000 or something. I'm just taking a guess. I don't remember, but
For just a mattress. Right?
yeah, and like the only person who deserves a Florida King is like Shaquille O'Neal.
Exactly.
You know, like a custom big ass bed because so his
Big-ass
tootsies
dude.
doesn't hang off. You know what I mean? Like that's what. Like how big do you need? I mean, I have a king, but I mean, you know, what the hell?
You know,
I
it took me many years to graduate to a king, and then when I finally got a king, I was like, "Wow, this is pretty cool.
right.
This is pretty awesome."
Meanwhile, you see kids, these little kids, and they got queen size mattresses and king size mattresses, and I'm sitting there going, I had a twin mattress till I was like 20.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way it
You didn't even
goes.
know anything different.
No, it's
Fine.
a twin. And it starts off as your child's bed, and then you get a different room set up, and it stays your mattress. And it's a twin. That's it. No difference.
It's the old man show complaining about.
Twin mattresses. Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, we're really
Cranberry juice guy.
going off on rants. Sorry. Dumb rants. Stupid rants.
Oh, I did speak. You know, I don't want to ruin the party, but I'd like to ask you to not drive your Tesla anymore. I've been getting complaints from the neighbors. I don't want any kind of incidents at my house.
They're going to shit on my door handle.
They did last week, and Donna cleaned it up. That's the kind of gal she is. Your guest.
Dude, it is, you know, it's so ridiculous. Like, again, I bought my Tesla when Elon was a Democrat. Like, I don't know what anybody wants.
I don't think you cared about his political affiliation. You wanted to get that car.
And I still don't give a shit. He could come out and turn satanic tomorrow, and I'd be like, well, all right, car's sweet though. Like you have to separate and compartmentalize some stuff, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Do you think it's even legit? It doesn't seem. Nobody goes out and nobody's keying cars and going to protests about what. There's so many worse things that are going on in the world for the last 30 years that people did not protest, and now all of a sudden protesting.
Well, that's because they're all paid.
Exactly.
So,
it's
yeah.
fake. It's fake.
There used
not
to be
real.
real protests when real shit mattered, when, you know, when women are fighting for rights to and black people are fighting to be equal in society and not have to use different bathrooms and drink out of different water fountains.
Real causes.
Real shit. Real stuff. Like that actually mattered as humans. Like, oh my God, like what an atrocious thing. I can't believe they even had to protest that they wanted to be considered equal.
Equal, yeah.
It's mind-boggling. No, this is all bullshit.
Bullshit. It's
None of these
complete
protests are real. I can't. It's a joke.
It's like it take a lot worse than whatever you think Elon Musk is doing to get me out to protest. So, it's a lot. Take me a lot to get me out to protest.
Even to be a paid protester.
It depends on how much they pay.
Well, that's the thing. I'd have to be like, well, how much? I mean,
you get $100, right?
Yeah, but I mean, that's not worth it. Even
it
if
depends.
Even if I was an 18-year-old broke kid, I still would be like, I don't know, man, $100 with inflation and the way shit is, it's barely gonna get me.
I have no idea how much the going rate is, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy.
But
there's no that. The protests are fake now, so it's like, what are you going to bother protesting?
But
they're just going to say you're fake anyway. So they've really.
And what is the actual protest? Is it because I've seen all the
He
Tesla
wasn't
protests?
elected. No, I didn't vote for Elon.
Yeah, I didn't vote for him to chop needless fraud and expense. Okay, all right. If that's an argument, that's fine. And then in the same protest, it's like, oh, he's a Nazi. It's like, okay, well, there's a secondary parameter, and then the third one is what? He's there's a third one. they're hating on him for something else. I can't remember what it was, but all all this stuff, it's all chucked into these protests that I don't know if anybody really cares about, and the media is shoving it down our throats to make people care.
It's
and you can
absurd.
see his favorability, his liking going down in Americana. You know, like with the vote yesterday in Wisconsin. You know, he spent like $20 million, you know, on his own propaganda to get a Republican in there.
Yeah.
Didn't work out, and now they're like, oh, well, that's because he's not liked. And truth is, in America, they've been shoving it down people's throats so much of why they should hate him that now people are going, yeah, I should hate that guy. Yeah, why did I like Elon? And then they start questioning it, and they jump on the bandwagon of hatred, but they're not thinking for themselves or taking a step back and going, okay, is there a net positive out of this, or is he a net negative in society as a whole? I still look at it as a net positive.
And is he even viewed that negatively by the majority of people, or is it just a media narrative that makes you want to think that everybody
Right.
hates you?
And then
I
they
don't know
beat it
anybody
into-
who gives a rat's ass about Elon Musk.
I
How about
couldn't-
that? Nobody's ever, I don't have any friends coming up to me and say, hey, this Elon Musk. No, they don't give a fucking shit about that.
I talked to a couple people the other week at this place I was at, and they both had the same sort of joke of like, hey, anybody messed with your Tesla lately? Like one of those things.
Yeah.
And I'm going, not that I know of. They do. It's on camera, so I don't know what to tell you. But, and they always followed up with the same thing, going, yeah, it's so stupid. I don't understand it. And I'm going, yeah, I'm not worried about it. But it's like that thing going, they don't understand either. I don't think anybody really understands it. Truly at the core of it, why anybody understands it.
I think all you have to do is take a few incidences of people's cars being keyed, and one of a guy setting fire, go one nut job.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you've got it's not an epidemic, but it certainly appears like an epidemic on social media. I don't think nobody around here's getting their car keyed.
Yeah,
I don't think it's happening.
And people get their cars keyed all the time for being an asshole or parking wrong in a parking lot or, going over the line on a parking spot or whatever it is. There's always going to be some of that out there. But just like, look, I'm amazed that there's not more psychos in the country. Again, if
It's
you're
true. It's
looking at the
surprising.
stats, what do we got? 350 million people in this country?
It's a lot.
How
of
are
psychos.
more people not psychotic? Like truly psychotic? Like it's to me, we're doing pretty good as far as the number of true psychos out there compared to the total population. Not bad.
I think I have to agree with you. I'm surprised that there's not just carnage every day, and they're just raping and
Right? You think it would be the purge on the daily with as many people as you have. The fact that we have as much law and order that we do,
shocking?
it's crazy shocking because we also have freedoms and liberties that other countries don't have. Like it could be a real recipe for disaster, but for the most part, everybody's on the straight and narrow. For the most part.
You can watch your negative feed in the news and be depressed, but then you go out and live in the real world, and there's really not a lot going bad around here.
Yeah, you hear about a crime here, a crime, and it happens, and you're going to have scumbags and this, that, and the other. But overall,
Pretty good.
yeah, not bad.
A lot of people living together, not a lot of bad stuff happening. Maybe it's all hype. Maybe it's all hype.
From an overall,
Humanity is actually good. Most people, if you take away like the 5% of sociopaths, I think the earth is a far different place. The narcissists and the sociopaths, they rise to the top because they're backstabbing everybody,
Yeah.
lying and cheating and stealing. And the good guys, they never raise to the top. So you got a bunch of fucking dickheads running the entire planet.
I feel like you need those too, though.
Somewhat.
You have to have a balance of even as much as I hate sociopaths and narcissists, like you have to have a couple of them
But you don't
because
think
those are the ones.
you don't
Those are
think
the ones who are gonna like.
You don't think you can be intelligent and brave and gallant?
You can, but you also would then, to be fair and equitable to everybody and everything in your life would make it
Well, I mean,
Like-
not everything. Come on.
Well, then
Like,
but then you know,
just a decent, but just like a decent, charismatic guy. That's honest and ethical. And obviously you kind of gotta, you can't be ethical on everything, but
well, then
Right
isn't
now-
that the rub though? You can't be ethical on everything.
it can be pretty ethical, though. I said it. If Congress and our government were pretty ethical, we'd be in a very different place right now. We would, but
yeah.
we're not. We're in a disastrous place because they have no ethics. Just total dirtbags. Just robbing like right in front of our eyes too. They're just ransacking our apartments, and we're like, I voted for this guy, and he's like,
Yes.
give me the money.
Yeah,
It's fucking ridiculous.
The Pelosi's of the world, and if I could think of a Lindsey Graham just to make it even, I think both of them are shitbags. I don't care for either
Total
one of them.
shitbags.
But it's so overt, and they keep getting voted in time after time after time, and it's
Doesn't
like,
even make
whoa,
sense.
that's where you need to question the voting public and go, why? Just give me give me a good reason why you're voting. Like almost a little test to going, okay, I'm voting for Nancy Pelosi. And then like a sub question of why? Give me just can I just ask you why?
I think people are going to pass on the subsection, and
Yeah.
the average voter, the average American is so dumb that they see a name and go, I know Pelosi. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all it is. And it's like, well, you can't beat that.
Turner old rack.
You can't beat that.
Man, speaking
I
of
mean, her old rack could, got a lot of votes last.
that old rack,
last time.
Dude, did you see the Cory Booker speech?
I heard he's been talking for like a day or something.
Literally over a
Oh,
day.
What an asshole. Can you imagine how boring that speech is?
He talked for 25 plus hours.
What's he talking about?
Well, that's the things I don't even know, but about how Democrats need to change and the typical stuff.
Nobody cares, and nobody cares, right?
Well, I was thinking, I'm like, oh, he's probably is in the middle of a filibuster.
Yeah,
or something
filibuster
like that.
deal.
And then I read the article, and it's like, no, it wasn't even part of a filibuster deal. And apparently, he also didn't use the restroom once
He had a diaper
or
on.
take a
Cory
break.
Booker was pooping his pants. Oh my God! What if we? This is professional wrestling at its finest.
25 hours,
25
a
hours.
marathon speech.
He was on coke and Adderall.
Yeah, I mean, that's what everybody's like. How many drugs were you on to be able to 25 plus hours? And he still didn't. I don't even think he broke the record of. I think he's number
He
two.
choked at the end.
couldn't quite make it.
Nobody remembers number 2, Corey.
But here's the best part. I saw somebody they put on Facebook or Meta or whatever the hell you call it now, and they're like, Cory Booker is a hero. I don't know why. I can't even wrap my head around what that statement even means.
Is that a real person, or is all of our social media feeds just full of bots?
Not
and
only this
government?
was a real person, it's a real person that I've known for 20 plus years.
Oh,
You know what I mean? And it's like, why?
yeah.
Why would you put that?
Yeah.
What does that even mean? Cory Booker is as a hero.
He's not a hero, but you can't say it, so you just don't say nothing.
Yeah,
you
just
don't like
move
it.
past it.
You don't do nothing. You just go, boy. And sometimes you type it and say, "I'll tell you about Cory Booker,"
Yes,
and then you
yeah.
go delete. I do that all the time.
It's
And
not-
I like no.
But I
delete.
delete. Cory Booker is a hero because he talked for 25 hours.
About shit he
straight.
don't even believe in.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing was weird. I mean, props to him for giving a 25-hour speech. That is
Sean Rice says
insane.
no. That blowhard broke the record. He's saying he broke the
He
record.
did break the record. Wow, good for him.
Beer Smell Like Tuna says Pelosi is a legacy politician.
Yep.
That shouldn't be a thing. I mean, her legacy is
She
dog,
should have been
is
termed
dog
out.
crap.
Yeah, she should have been termed out a long time ago. There's got to be some sort of.
Look, there's great people all over the country. We could term these people out every time and replace them with more great minds if we had a legitimate government.
Well, in fresh thinkers.
but we don't.
Fresh thinkers. I mean, think about.
Come on.
Let me look. Let's use crypto as a small example, right? The majority of folks in government do not understand it. They can't wrap their head around it. But if you're a younger generation person, you're going to at least, whether you agree with it or not, that's a whole nother thing. But you could at least understand the concept of it, right? Or wrap your head around it. New technology, new thing, blockchain. You can't explain this to old fuddy-duddies that have no want or need for exposure or have a care in the world. Like, it's not their thing, so they don't want to think about it. But, you know, I would love to see some young, fresh thinkers. Like, you know.
They don't want they don't want young, fresh thinkers. It's a preposterous system. It's become preposterous. I guarantee back in the day, there was probably young, I don't remember. I'm not young enough to remember. I bet there was young politicians. Yeah, I bet maybe the majority of people.
It's because people only lived till like they were 40. Average life expectancy was crazy.
I don't know why. I mean, legacy politician, that shouldn't be a thing. You just voted in because, oh, I know her. She's been doing it for 20 years. Do it some more. What a bunch of morons we are.
Man, sticking in that, like, I don't know if this fact is true or not. Maybe beavers smell like tuna. Knows. And it's a little bit off topic, but talking about legacy and stuff. I read a thing where if you're a professional baseball player, all right, and you throw one pitch or play one play in the majors, you get insurance and benefits for the rest of your life.
Could be true.
And I was thinking to myself, like,
they strike a hard bargain, the Players Association. That's
how
a pretty
cool
good
is
deal.
that?
You know, it's hard to get to the major leagues.
All of the major leaguers combined, I know this fact is true. If you take every major league ball player throughout the beginning of the sport and put them in a stadium, I can't remember which one they said, but basically it still wouldn't even fill up the stadium. Like, there's that few of professional baseball players that have come around in time.
And the owners of baseball make so much money that they should get taken care of more than other professions, because the owners got money out the ass.
Yeah.
These things are ridiculously profitable, obscenely profitable.
I was just thinking, like, the cost of insurance is insane. And it's like, if you're a young ball player, you're not thinking along the lines of, wait, if I just play one play, I get insurance forever. Like, that would be like, but God, if
strive to make it to the big leagues just for that.
Coach, can I just get in and just put me in one game? Just give me one. I need insurance for life, Coach. Just give me one play. Let me get in there.
I'll bunt.
I'll
get
whatever
thrown out at first. Good night.
Yeah, I'll take a hit
hit the
to
shower.
the hip.
I'm done. Woo!
Right? I would walk off there going, insurance for life. I've met the goal. Like, isn't that crazy if that's true?
I can't watch baseball.
Well, baseball's a little...
It's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I mean, if
it's
it's true.
I don't know why. I don't care. It's too many games. Why must they play 162 games?
It is a lot of games.
Would you like pizza 162 nights a year? No.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Every other night you're eating pizza. Blech. Every day they're playing. They just play and play and play and play. 162 times.
Meanwhile, the majority of the guys I knew that played, they would get their per diem because they'd give it to them cash before each game. At the time, it was like $300 or something like that.
A day?
A day. Per diem.
I could live off their per diem.
That's the funny part. Some guys would save it because they're going, I don't know how long I'm going to be here, and they would eat crap food, or they would have catering and they would just eat that. Or other guys would go, all right, money to party tonight, and they would play the game and then go out to the nightclub, get drinks, whatever, and they would just use that money to get hammered. And in the off season was the only time when they were actually sober and clean, when they had to be home with their families, or, you know, in the off season. But during the season, that per diem was just, you know,
I'd have a hard time not going to the casino.
Right.
Every night, 300 on black.
See what happens? Yeah.
Why not? You're playing with, that's like house money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Per diem, $300 a day.
That rules.
It doesn't make any sense to me why, like, you know, nowadays players, if you're a superstar, you're making $250 million. Many times you're making $250 to $500 million, and it's like, it's just not right. I just don't understand it.
Well, it is not right. But again, here's the rub too, is no baseball player will ever come out and go, that's not right. Even though they know it's not right. They
It's
know
true. It's
it's
true.
out of control. It's insane money. They know it. But they will never come out and say that because, that affects, it's that whole bargaining agreement, dude. Like, they're in the Players Association. Like, you have to stick with them. Even as insane as you think those salaries are, you can't be the one to come out and admit it, because that makes everybody look bad. It's the whole house of cards comes tumbling down.
The most they ever do will be a quarterback. He'll take like a couple million less on his $280 million contract so another player can get signed.
Yeah.
That's as far as. Second time I've done that. Fortunately, it was empty. Oh, look at this. The fans blowing papers. We got an epic hang going on now.
We do have an epic hang going on. By the way,
Okay, go ahead.
you can download us and do whatever on Spotify and Apple Music and tell a friend and all that jazz.
All that jazz.
All that stuff.
Oh, jazz.
Are we doing the Creative Loafing Awards this year? I got an email from them.
Is that time already? Has it been that?
Can you
Are
believe
you
it?
shitting me?
I don't know when it starts or opens up, but I looked at this guy's email, and my initial thought was, "Ugh." It's like, I don't even want to.
Yeah.
Because last year was kind of a rib, but like I don't even.
I mean, we won it last year. Should we not defend our crown, or should we just walk into the sunset with our crown?
I kind of like winning last year and just.
And then you just walk away. That's
Yeah.
kind of a baller move, like a Barry Sanders move. At the height of your career, you're like, hey, I'm done. But you roast for 2,000 yards last year. Yeah, I know, but my legs are a little sore. I gotta go. I got $1.5 million in the bank.
And he faxed it to him. He faxed him his resignation from overseas. Barry Sanders, that is a pimp move. That is so pimp.
In a Mai Tai in Bangkok.
I think he was in like England
Oh, really?
or France or something like that. He was over. He just took his family on vacation and was like, because he knew the backlash was going to be pretty crazy. He
Yeah,
was like, I'll just be over here
People couldn't deal with it.
and
They're
I'll
like,
fax it in.
why would you do that?
How dare you, Barry
Dare you,
Sanders?
Barry
You
Sanders.
betrayed the entire city.
I'd love to watch you dance around the football field.
I love how people put a player on the back of the city. Like, you betrayed everybody here. Like, you have no clue what that person's going through. You have no clue.
You do the same thing, possibly.
Guy's got no meniscus. He's got 9,000 concussions. He's just doing his thing. You betrayed us, Barry.
He wants us to retire while he still has some health.
You're
What
not
an-
allowed to retire with dignity, Barry.
What an a-hole.
Don't you know Detroit? We're there for you.
I'm a terrible sports fan. I have a real hard time rooting for teams because I don't even get the concept. And my city, I don't really care about my city.
Yeah.
As far as, well, I like living here, but I'm not
Yeah,
bless it,
I mean, it's fine. I'm not like,
I don't-
Tampa till I die.
And so and I don't if I found out if I was rooting for my team, say I was working for the Bucks, and I found out that a bunch of the players were real assholes and they did some bad, I'd be like, well, I don't want to root for these guys. I'll go find another team to root for. Nobody does that though.
I know.
They have to root for their home team. So I didn't indoctrinate my kids, so they don't really have that mentality. It's like, I don't wonder if I cheated them out of some fun.
No, because that's exactly the reason why I stopped rooting for the Bucks years back, is because I found out a bunch of them were assholes.
Yeah.
And then now the slate is clean, and I'm going, all right, now I
Now
can.
you don't know.
Now I don't. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine. I don't know anything about nothing. Not a huge Broncos fan though currently, but whatever. With all that being said, yeah, man. But I'm with you. There's.
See, I'm not either because all I know is the Matt Lloyd propaganda on that deal. So I'm always like, ugh.
I was like 19 years old. I was too young to have propaganda. I got propaganded on that one, to be honest.
You did.
Yeah, that put me in a very awkward spot. But whatever.
You didn't deserve that either, Matt.
No, I did not.
You didn't deserve it.
Regardless.
Sean Raz said, play My Night with Nancy Pelosi. Well, you want it. You got it, Sean fucking Raz. And we'll be right back with more of The Hang. Load, it's loading. Quit loading and play. Why is it bitch ass loading?
I was strolling for furries at a seedy EDM bar in Baltimore when I saw a figure staggering out of the bathroom. It was Nancy Pelosi. As she made her way down the hallway, she slipped on some vomit and smashed the vodka bottle she was holding.
Oh, shit.
I went over and helped her up and told her I had a bottle of Grey Goose back at my condo, and she eagerly accepted my invitation for a nightcap. I told the driver to step on it. I had a live one.
Come on, dude, she's holding.
And we were back at my place in no time. Once back at my place, I poured her a triple shot of Grey Goose. She downed it like a sailor, and I whispered in her miracle ear that I wanted to make love to her. She said that she and Chuck Schumer had just finished using the articles of impeachment to snort up some celebratory blow that we'd have to screw later. She said she wanted to get wasted and make prank phone calls to Mitch McConnell. But first, she took a big swig of vodka right from the bottle. She then proceeded to blow up an inflatable Ivanka Trump doll, and then defecate in a MAGA hat, in a performance art piece entitled 2 Girls, 1 Cap. She was gourded out of her mind. I asked her what she was on, and she handed me a hit of PCP. Then she whispered in my ear,
You ever hated America? On angel dust?
I took the hit of PCP, and soon I blacked out. We hit the road. We stopped to pick up a hitchhiker. He was wearing a red, white, and blue coat and a white beard. He was Uncle Sam. Nancy invited him to her place,
Fuck you right in the dick.
and he said, cool. I don't have anywhere to go.
I have $23 trillion in debt.
That's about the time Nancy chloroformed me.
Shut the fuck up, old man.
She told me to hightail it back to her place, while she took upskirt photos and sent them to the Ayatollah. I faded in and out of consciousness. One minute we were helping illegal immigrants dig a tunnel under the border. The next, we were assisting Rachel Maddow in giving Meghan McCain a partial birth abortion. I vaguely remember Nancy shoving a pill in my mouth and saying,
Chinese Adderall. It'll put some pep in your step.
the next thing I knew, I woke up in the basement, right next to Joe Biden, who was giving Greta Thunberg a back massage.
How dare
I
you?
stumbled to the bathroom, and there was Nancy Pelosi giving Uncle Sam a golden shower, while Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren fingered each other and watched.
This is pretty hot.
I was overcome with desire. I grabbed Nancy's hair and said,
I declare a fatwa on your filthy American vagina.
She immediately dropped her ISIS panties and began to take off her hijab. I said, no, leave it on. I mounted her and cried death to America with every stroke. Her large fake boobs, paid for with your tax dollars, jiggled up and down and up and down. This went on for what seemed like hours. She was not an easy woman to satisfy, and it wasn't until I ripped up the final page of the U.S. Constitution that she finally climaxed.
Impeachment is fire.
The last thing I remember was turning down a free mustache ride from John Bolton. I woke up 3 days later with a text on my phone from Nancy Pelosi. It was a picture of me with Adam Schiff's balls on my forehead. Oh yeah, she took my guns too. Once, there was a solitary creature whose society had turned its back on, cast him away, not knowing that one day, one dark day, he would return. He was a lone wolf. He was a lone wolf. He was the lone wolf.
crossing the plains in cold winter snow. No one will have you nowhere to go. Up on the ridge you stare at the sky, just you and your shadow to hear your lone cry. Where do you run to? Where do you run to? Where do you run to now? No one to trust and nowhere to turn. Your only friend's weed and it's time to burn. It's all okay now that you're high. You're tripping balls, you think you can fly. Where do you run to? Where do you run to? Where do you run to now? He was a lone wolf. He was a lone wolf. He was a lone wolf. Lone wolf. You cross the tracks and take a dump in the moonlit snow. You cross the tracks and take a big dump in the moonlit snow. You cross the tracks and take a big dump in the moonlit snow. You cross the tracks and take a big dump in the moonlit snow.
Sometimes you creep back and look at the town. Silently moving, you don't make a sound. Off in the distance, a cry in the night. A stranger, a young girl, the flash of a knife.
You race to help, yes, the stranger you face. The lone wolf is too strong, the man runs away. You kneel by the girl, brush the hair from her face. She isn't breathing, the wolf was too late. Where do you run to? Where do you run to? Where do you run to now? You shout to the heavens, her blood on your hands. The townspeople come, they cry, kill the wolf man. Dragged to the cliff and thrown down to your grave. Killed for the young girl that you tried to save. He was crossing the plains in cold winter snow. He was no one will have you nowhere to go. He was up on the ridge, you stare at the sky. Just you and your shadow to hear your lone cry. You cross the tracks and take a dump in the moonlit snow. You cross the tracks and take a big dump in the moonlit snow. You cross the tracks and take a big dump in the moonlit snow.
Are you digging the round? Are you digging the three lines being sung at once?
Of course. That's a lot of tracks.
That was the beauty. One of the good things about the old show for me was I could do whatever the fuck I wanted. I could do it, and he would play it.
Yeah,
I
at
could do
least
whatever
once.
I
You'd at
wanted.
least get one play out of it.
Like this, he played the shit out of this, and it was kind of a real, like a super high thing I wrote when I was super high. But people,
It's a lot of tracks.
Yeah, it's a lot of tracks.
Big dump in the moonlit snow. All alone, the lone wolf cries.
What were we doing, Matt? What were we doing? The lone wolf.
I loved walking past your production room when you were doing stuff like that.
See, do you notice? Do you notice at the end? Let's see if we got it. No, here we go at the end. No.
All alone, the
This is tribute to Matt Lloyd right here.
Okay.
lone wolf cries. The lone wolf cries.
Oh, 2 times.
Two
Nice.
times.
Two times for effect.
I mean, I've done that throughout my career. Ever since you said that, say it twice for effect, and I was like, yeah, that's a good one.
Oh man! Welcome back to the hang.
Back to the hang, the second hour of the hang. A hang OT coming up in an hour. Holy crap!
Which you can only get.
You can only get on clusterfshow.com.
That's right.
Nowhere else in the entire world can you get
Nowhere.
the hang overtime.
Oh,
Hot
man.
damn! Hot damn! Man.
Hot damn.
Hot damn!
Oh.
I went through all my list. My list is this. It's a Tesla.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, I mean, I sent over some emails with some things, and any one will, I'm sure, be suitable.
Suffice.
Yes, it doesn't really matter what it is.
That's a big list, buddy. That's a big list.
I have a few things.
Gospel singer
Couple
Marvin
things.
Sapp, John Claude Van Damme. What is wrong with people? Man smokes the world's hottest pepper. I saw that one. Is this the greatest salesman of all time? Which one?
I don't know, he's some asshole selling people baseball cards, and I don't know. It's like the art of the pitch.
Is that the one you're going with?
Oh, you can do whatever.
Oh, I don't want this pressure. I just want you to pick one. Okay, I'll pick one.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll do roulette. And 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. What is wrong with people? Was that a bad choice?
No,
shit, I
go
made
with
the
it.
wrong
Yeah,
choice.
no, go
I
with
made
this
the
one. I
wrong
don't know what it
choice.
is.
That's why I didn't want to do it.
Let's see what this one is.
All right, here we go. What's wrong with people?
Oh, okay. Wait. Yes. Okay. To set this one up.
Okay.
She's like some sort of dominatrix
Mm-hmm.
or something of that nature. And she's got a client who likes to get pooped on.
Oh.
And this is her setting up for it. This
No. It's not cool.
Oh, okay.
This is her.
Do that one?
No, we can do it.
Oh.
This is her setting up for it. What's she getting? Some Taco Bell and stuff.
Oh, it's even
Is it
more
this
odd
guy?
than that.
What's wrong with? See what? I'm living in an upside down world.
It's very strange, right?
I don't want.
Come with me to prepare for my Dom session. So the prep for this session actually starts the night before.
This is
because this-
not to get off track. I got to write something down. It started with AF. I can't remember. Women nowadays, young women, they all talk with a vocal fry.
Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, it's like to the point where it's just.
That's for affect.
It sucks. It sucks a lot. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear that. It's like, oh.
You know what equally sucks though
Why?
is when women
Why?
talk with a deep voice, because they do that on purpose,
purpose?
too. Yeah,
Oh.
in the business world.
Hello.
Yes, if in the business world.
Yeah, they gotta try to blend in.
Yeah, the deeper your voice goes, the more power you're projecting, et cetera, et cetera. And then you hear the women talk outside of work, and they're very meek. Like they'll put on this whole voice for their whole entire professional career in their executive slot. Just
Women. Okay.
it lends to power.
Not to sound sexist,
Oh boy,
but
that's what they all say.
when you have a male announcer on a sporting event, he is chosen because his voice is more pleasing than all the other male voices out there. And it's pleasing. These guys have great voices. There's no way virtually any woman can ever compare to a man's voice as far as soothing or compelling. It's just a biological thing. They don't come across as good. They're yelling at me.
I'll tell you what, I couldn't agree with you more because I don't know many sports commentators' names. I can name a few, but not a lot.
few.
But I can't name one female one that's, and I take this back, not doing color commentary, right? Like if you're watching tennis, you might have, the straight man, and then
Yeah.
Martina Navratilova or Chris Everett will come in with their perspective on it.
Yeah,
But from a pure delivery perspective, I can't think of any females.
And that's fine, being the color person, but not the play-by-play needs to be a guy with a great voice. Just sorry, guys with bad voices. I couldn't be a play-by-play guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think my voice is attractive to
Everything
people.
they do, it's all smooth.
It's like these guys, and then they got the growl and they got
there's
it.
an art to it.
It's an art. I mean, you gotta. There's never a down moment when you're a play-by-play guy.
And some of them, dude, when Marv Albert was on the mic, you knew it was Marv Albert.
Bob Costas, Marv Albert,
Hell,
trying to think
was
of-
it Jim Buck? What's his name?
Joe
Buck?
Jim.
Whatever the kid is.
The kid's
that
Joe,
Joe?
isn't it?
I
Who's
think
the
you're right. I
dad?
think
Who's
it's
the
Joe Buck.
dad?
It was Mr. Buck.
Mr. Buck. Yeah, Mr. Buck. Vin
Buck.
Scully. Vin Scully.
Who's the, and then what was the
Harry
basketball?
Carey.
Oh,
Ice Cold Budweiser.
what was the basketball guy? Holy cow.
Holy cow.
Am I thinking of the right
no,
one?
I don't think he says, well, he's, no.
Holy shit.
It was,
Wouldn't that be better? You know what I'm talking
He just came back. He just came back from cancer, right?
That's me,
Dick
baby.
Vitale, baby,
Hey,
baby.
that
Oh, yeah,
guy.
baby.
Yeah. Why do I think
Dick
he said,
Vitale.
holy shit, baby?
Holy cow. But he, I listen to female announcers. I just don't think they bring, because I'm totally equal guy. All for women's rights. Women are brilliant and awesome, but some things women can do better than men, and some things men can do better than women. And a man's deep, soothing voice cannot be replicated by a woman.
Oh God, that made me want to go to sleep right there. It was amazing. Yeah, no, you're right. And there might be a couple out there that I'm sure we're missing. There might be, but like with tennis, Chris Evert, great on color. I can listen to her. It's nice. It's a nice voice. It's fine.
Yeah,
but it's not the setup. It's not the setup voice. It's not the
constant.
Yeah.
Okay, keeping it going.
Yeah. Like who they team Brady up with? I don't even remember that guy's name.
Don't remember.
But
many times I would watch the game and forget it was Tom Brady, and it was like he was fine.
Yeah,
it was fine.
I kind of fell into the background.
I don't really understand what they think they're going to get. Like $340 million worth of publicity, maybe for a while, but what can you do as a color guy to fucking make 340? What can you do? Can you fucking juggle balls? I mean, you can only say so much.
It is funny when they were running the promos for Tom Brady being on there. They started doing, like, halfway through the season, they started this new one of, like, him preparing. Like, there's only one of me. I can do this. Like this whole thing.
I remember that one.
And, and it was just, like, him in the booth. And
it's going to be the best ever.
Right. And I'm going, I mean, I get it, but it's not quite the same as being the best on the football field. Like, we came in here, we prepared for
2 seconds.
Now, we could sit here and prepare for hours, and that's going to be fine, but it's not the same as football. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a much more...
Well, yeah, and when you're 6'5", I mean, he's a gifted athlete, but he may not be a gifted...
How do you think he would be as a coach?
Orator.
How do you think he'd be as a coach, though?
I never found him...
He seems motivating.
I don't know if he motivates. I don't think he's compelling. I think you have to have a certain it factor to be a coach. You gotta have the it factor to be. You gotta be interesting. You gotta be dynamic. You gotta make people want to follow you. And if you're a milquetoast kind of, I don't know, Tom Brady you don't do it for me.
Well,
do your job, little bitch.
You don't do it for me. Yeah, no, I'm with you on the women thing. I was watching a highlight of WNBA. I say highlight.
Is it the low light?
Oh, it sure is.
I got it. I got it here somewhere.
Lights.
Here it is.
It's so great.
And
they were like, what was the title of it? It said like, what does
why
that say?
Why does nobody watch the NBA? Also, why can't WNBA players make the same pay as NBA players?
Yes, and this sums up this clip of.
And maybe basketball does not play to women's strengths.
But they are trying to press this thing on everybody, right?
It's just not. They're just not. It's just different. And you'll see air balls in men's game, college pros. You'll see air balls occasionally. You'll see a lot of air balls in the women's game.
Dude, old school, you'd see Wide World of Sports on a Saturday morning or whatever, and they would show some random stuff. And now you see WNBA games, and it's like, I yearn for the random stuff that was once on the Wide World of Sports.
Oh, it was so good.
Give me a dog catching a Frisbee any day of the week over the WNBA, please.
I love the Wild World of Sports.
That's great. Random ass sports.
Now you got it. Yeah, you got them all at your fingertips.
They'd have like some alpine skier fixing to jump across an ocean or something like that.
It's a wide world, Matt. There's a lot of sports.
There's a lot of action.
Yeah, I just can't do the female basketball thing.
Okay, you're going to tell me these are the best two teams in women's basketball?
This is the championship game.
It is?
It is.
This is as good as it gets, huh? Let's just watch this entire sequence.
Woo! Airball.
All right.
It's terrible.
Airballs happen. That's okay. See what this point guard does here. All right. There's two. Ionescu, she's a legend, right? No.
Who?
I don't know.
Stuck in the corner. This is game 5. This is the final game of the.
Final game of the championship.
I didn't know it was the final game of the championship. Oh, that's funny.
WNBA finals.
And she runs out of bounds.
And the final, like the score was like 46 to 47 or something like that.
It's pretty dreadful.
Dude, the NBA would be 80 in the first half.
Of the best. Yeah, face says it all.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. You know, I mean, many of these women would school me on the court.
Well, yeah, but you don't play basketball.
I'm not 6 foot. I'm not 6'3". Some of these girls are tall. Surprisingly, a lot of these girls are real tall, but they just.
Yeah, but you can be tall and suck.
Women, they just don't have the quick twitch reflexes in some sports that men do. I don't think they can play bad. We've talked about all the time on Clutch Draft. If you took LeBron James and you put him on one of these teams, the final score would be LeBron's team 175-13, and they scored whenever LeBron fell down. And they finally got the
right.
He would pack.
Somebody was cherry picking.
He would pack these girls. And that's not really an exaggeration. It would be 100 and something to a very low score with having one superstar man on that team.
Mm-hmm.
It's preposterous.
No, you're right. In the tennis thing, I was watching a tournament the other day, and like I said, Martina Navratilova was doing color commentary, and the guy was like, Martina, when you were practicing, who did you practice with? Like, who on the women's circuit did you practice with? She says, I really didn't practice with the women. I practiced with the men because they could keep up pace. And I was like, well, that's all you need to know.
Yep.
You know, like, at least that was some honesty.
Hey, I forgot what I was talking about. That's a long time. 7:22. I went 7:22 before I forgot what I was talking about. Something about men and women in sports. But who cares? It's just a manufactured issue. It's like nobody. If they did the jumbotron, what I think you thought of a couple weeks ago was brilliant. The jumbotron poll should rule America. So that's the most genuine response. And
correct.
You show biological men playing sports with women, and the crowd boos it down, and that's how it would be.
Yep.
It's a manufactured issue. What really shocked me was if I was a dad and my daughter's who's worked like 14, 15 or 10 years to get to where she's going to get, and she doesn't get the championship because a biological male beats her, I'm booing a lot.
Yeah.
I'm making a scene. That's me. I'm making a scene. I'm a meek, mild-mannered guy.
Yeah, you don't make scenes.
But you get me riled up on stuff like that sports thing. I'll make a scene sometimes. When I was managing the softball team, I'd get people, I'd get pretty dicky.
Well,
I've mellowed out now, though.
You talk about it being manufactured, and like, truth is, can we just be 100% real about it? Is the interest in WNBA is manufactured?
It's true.
That is manufactured. And the interest in what they're going to start doing with women's flag football. That is also going to be manufactured interest. Now, will there be some interest? Sure, there will be. But they're going to shove WNBA down your throat. They're going to shove this women's flag football thing down your throats and tell you how awesome. Watch the women juke. Watch how you can't get their flag. Oh, watch this move, this 360. Like, it's manufactured. Nobody really. There's such a minute percentage of interest in that sport. It's fucking.
And I'm a huge proponent of women's athletics. My
Agreed.
daughter played, high school soccer. She was the athlete of the year. I loved watching her games, and because she was my daughter. And I can watch soccer, women play soccer in the Olympics and stuff, and it means something. And I'm watching some of the women's basketball Final Four, only because they're playing for their school. It's March Madness. There's storylines. It's still not great basketball, but I can't watch that WNBA. That means nothing. And it's terrible.
I'll be damned if I'm going to go to a flag football game outside of the Powder Puff game I went to in high school. Other than that, like, there's no. You think tickets are going to move for women's flag football? The NBA or NFL's really co-signing this thing. All the promos and they got the girls with the what do they call it when the
eye black?
The eye black right under the chucking them out.
But I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm actually fine with like the WNBA.
I'm fine. It's fine.
And look, if the NBA they make all these billions of dollars and they want to give women athletes a place to play after college, cool. Just don't say it's good.
Right. Don't tell. Yeah, and they don't just say it's good. They keep reinforcing of how good it is. But the highlights aren't even highlights.
No.
You know, like, although I did see that Caitlin Clark, I think it was her, she threw a sweet pass a couple weeks ago. I caught that. So that was the one highlight of maybe the season. I don't know.
That's why, I mean, I watched some of her games last year because she did things that most girls don't do. It's like, oh, I've never seen the behind the back deal like that.
She's biologically a man.
She might be.
Her real name's Cal.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do the WNBA.
But she'd get smoked.
She couldn't play in the NBA.
Yeah.
Not 1 minute.
Yeah, she would. It would.
They'd stuff her every time. I love women's sports. My daughter played sports. I coached her, and I loved the games, and it was exciting, and it was awesome. But you know.
All right, let me ask this:
they can't play like the men.
Is bowling even?
No, it's not a sport.
No, but let's.
Oh,
I'm just trying to think of
Is
something
it
that's
even?
even.
It's pretty even.
Like archery, even.
Yeah, I would say so.
Swimming, not even.
No, no, not at all.
Volleyball, not even.
Nope. Nope. Okay, what sports?
I mean, I'm sure there's a ton out there that are even, but the ones
I
that
don't think there are.
pop off in my, I mean, even skateboarding, not even.
No, you did just a jump. I'm trying to think of.
In bowling, I don't even know if that. I want to say it's even.
Because if you can throw the ball 8 miles faster than your opponent, let's say,
yeah,
you're going to get more pin action. And most guys can throw it a hell of a lot farther
so you're saying
than a woman.
even bowling is
even
not
bowling.
even.
What was the other one?
Women are at a disadvantage in bowling.
They are. I think they are. You got to check
archery.
That's as close as it comes, I think. Marksman too. Marksman.
Yep, marksmanship.
Anybody in chat? Now, what sports could women? Town and Country says, what happened to the lingerie bowl?
Oh my God,
Are they still doing that, or did they quit that?
They had the lingerie football league, and it was great. I mean, it was terrible.
These girls would hit each other too.
Oh,
man.
they would crush each other. But then you'd see a couple out there that were like, "Why is she in lingerie? Like, what is the purpose of this?" And then all the woke movement happened too on top of it, and it was like, wait a second, how are these women objectifying themselves? Not only are they out there getting hit, they were just wearing half-pattern lingerie. It really was the most male chauvinistic, centered thing ever in the history of sports. Like way more so than.
Is it still a thing? I don't even know if it's a thing. The lingerie football league. It's a gimmick. I don't see how everybody goes, it's game 8. Let's go see the line. I don't know. It's a fucking gimmick.
Just a bunch of hornballs that they go to Hooters. Now they're going, well, do you want to go to a lingerie football game tonight? My waitress from earlier is playing.
Oh, she's double dipping. I wonder how much a lingerie football player makes. Not much. It's sad.
Oh, my God. Oh, wait. We were supposed to play the clip of the Dom.
The Dom?
The dominatrix chick getting ready for her client.
How the hell do we get from there?
It's just what we do. We hang.
I'm trying to figure out how she inspired us to go on
a rant.
A half-hour rant.
About women. How terrible at sports they are.
I don't know if that was her intention.
The best.
What's going on? Oh, that guy's still commenting on the WNBA.
Yeah, face says it all.
I don't know. It'd kind of be funny if this chick had the sports soundtrack behind her while she's getting ready to be a dominatrix.
Does she not talk?
No, she talks.
Oh, she does talk. Here we go.
Come with me to prepare for my Dom session. So the prep for this session actually starts the night before because this man likes to be on. So he sends me a meal of his choice. This meal was Indian, and I have to try to eat it all. I also drink some ginger root tea and take some stomach digestive probiotics, to keep everything flowing. The next morning, I wake up, take a laxative, wait an hour, and then I go to the session. The session's
I mean, who can blame this guy? Who can blame that?
Yeah, who doesn't want that thing?
Mamacita. What's going on down here? She's about to poop.
the session. The session's only about 20 minutes.
Wait, what was this setup?
So the setup,
Wait,
for those of you just listening,
no.
it is it's a toilet with a camera, multiple cameras. It's like a 4-camera shoot. And is there a walker?
No, you
in
see,
front of that? What is that in front
that
of
is
the
a
toilet?
it's a portable toilet, so it's built basically a seat on a walker.
So he can slide
So
right
it's
under
like-
there?
Yeah, he's gonna slide under and
God.
I'm living in a world upside down. I don't want to live in this world anymore.
Right.
Man, I mean, God had to think all this stuff, right?
I blame him.
I mean, what did we come up with this? No, I think God came up with
Now, in all fairness,
it. That's a 4-camera shoot, buddy.
it is a lot of
4-camera
cameras
shoot.
going on.
In all fairness, what?
Is this hurting anybody?
No.
But it's hurting your soul. It's hurting my soul.
It hurts my soul.
I hurt for society, but he's not, or she's not. Both of them, they're not necessarily hurting anybody by her scat play with this guy.
They can't put it online though. Government. There's one. That's the one thing.
Oh, this is for his private collection, cuz
yeah, I'm sure it is. The one thing the government agrees on. Everybody, if you do a shit movie, they'll put you in jail. They'll put you in federal prison. Were you playing with shit? Both the Democrats and Republicans agree you're going to jail. Right?
Well, Lindsey Graham has a different perspective on this. Let me just pipe up here real quick.
Well, get you his number, Lindsey.
The Republican from the Carolinas has something to say. Well, now let's not take this too far.
He's watching them on his phone.
Doesn't mean it has to be banned. Let's be pragmatic about our thinking here.
Do you want? I got something for you with Lindsey Graham. Here's Donald Trump's tweet. You probably saw this. Senator Lindsey Graham is working incredibly hard for the great people of South Carolina, a state I love and won big in 2016, 2020, and 2024.
Of course,
Lindsey has been a wonderful friend to me. And he's always been there when I needed him as the chair of the Senate Budget Committee. Lindsey is fighting tirelessly to grow the economy. He's just jacking off Lindsey Graham for like a paragraph and a half. It's like,
why is he jerking Lindsey off?
Don't ask me. The guy's a piece of shit. He's the worst warmongering piece of shit ever.
That's my thing. I don't really care. I don't really know much about him other than the fact that it feels like that guy always wants to go to war.
Oh, he loves it. Loves
and
the
any
war.
warmonger, I just kind of have to take a step back from.
So why is Trump back? Everybody knows Lindsey Graham's a piece of shit. I've never met anybody who went, oh, how about that Lindsey Graham?
Piece of shit?
He is so getting crapped on. I think this is.
Hey, Lindsey, are you for freedom of speech or not?
This is the reveal. The big reveal at the last 5 seconds of this video is
this
Lindsey
is
Graham
Lindsey's
walks. Lindsey Graham walks in and says, "Are you ready?"
Did you eat all the curry?
Got your ginger ring?
Session's only about 20 minutes, so I'm real quick in and out, and I make a fucking bag.
Oh, let's see what the bag is.
Yeah, what is the
2,
bag?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like
Probably
11.
1,500.
Fuck.
That's all from the House Appropriations Committee.
It is. Those just gonna find that, Matt. They're gonna find that.
We've found some disturbing expenses.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the Republicans to get.
Bro, dude, when I was listening to Trump talking about the tariffs today, as he's announcing
I didn't
tariffs,
see it. Was it compelling television?
that's fine. It's Trump being Trump, reciprocal tariffs, but not quite reciprocal. If China charges us 67%, we're going to be kind and only charge them 34%. So like all these different countries, different scale, minimum, it's 10% across the board. Like there's all these different, whatever. But all I'm thinking to myself is, I do want this to happen, but I don't want it to happen. Like a Trump slur. And I don't know how he's never had one yet in his previous term. Now, when I mean slur, I mean it in terms of like he goes off the script a bit.
A lot. Yeah.
So, you know, you might talk freely or whatever. And he's talking a lot about, China. And at what point is he going to slip up with some sort of slur? And I don't know how it hasn't happened yet because he talks really, I don't know how
Off the cuff.
which is a good thing, but can also be a bad thing. And when it happens, how disastrous is it going to be when he calls a black person another name or an Asian person another name, even if it's, a true slip of the tongue or whatever? Like, can't you see it happening? And how it hasn't happened yet, I have no clue.
But he's been in the limelight for his whole life, and I don't think he's ever said anything.
He says everything else
He's
stupid and ridiculous in the
brilliant.
world.
It's all an act. He's a brilliant manipulator, Matt.
No, he is.
He's playing dumb. He's playing dumb.
But he's never had a slur?
No, have you ever heard Trump accused of? I've heard him accused, like on The Apprentice. Allegedly, there's a tape, but wouldn't that somebody come out with the tape if that tape's worth $10 million?
Yo. Yeah, I mean, you'd think that would be up there. I mean, he did the Billy Bush grab him by the pussy thing, and there's been some, but that's not even a slur. Like, you'd almost think if Trump was talking with Billy Bush and he's talking about grabbing him by the pussy and all this stuff, he may have even thrown a slur in there.
He might have.
But not to my knowledge.
That's because he's the master.
It's
really the art of the deal, man. It's the art of the deal.
How that guy hasn't had a slur yet, unless he has, and I don't know about it.
Isn't it crazy that Donald Trump, whether you like him or hate him, may be the most famous man the world has ever known? Right?
And who hasn't had a slur? But yes.
That's pretty famous. I mean, who would have thought?
Well,
every country, normally, the president maybe you might know George Bush, maybe you never seen a picture of him, but I bet you've seen a picture of Donald Trump.
That's true.
He's infamous.
You think most recognized?
I think he is.
Huh. I don't know. In 40 years, I don't know if they're going to be replaying footage of Trump, but they were still replaying footage of Hitler to this day.
I think we'll see. You got to wait to see what Donald Trump's legacy is.
Right.
Because that could be equivalent in some degree.
If he has a slur, especially.
That might be. Yeah. Town and Country, 100 bits.
Hey!
Oh, I hit the trace cam and not the woo. I'm out of control. There we go.
What do you do if that chick, that dominatrix, what do you do if that's your kid? What do you do?
That does that? I don't know. She flashes that wad of cash.
Because she's like, Dad.
It's like, can you help me out with the mortgage, honey? Here's some taco. Here's some Taco Bell. Get busy. Get busy.
Taco Bell and ginger root.
Yeah.
And a laxative. Oh, I got to do a colonoscopy.
Oh.
And an endoscopy.
What's the endoscopy? Is that they put a rod up your penis?
No, that's I pay $1,500 for that.
And she shits.
That's insult to injury. It doesn't even sound real, but it happens
a lot.
It doesn't even sound.
What's wrong with it? What's a society? What's wrong with us?
I gotta drop a friend if I find out they're into that. I gotta drop them from my life.
I don't do scat play.
Like
third party scat. I don't know what. No, see ya.
Yes,
don't invite him to the party again. He plays shit.
Yeah, most of the lifestyle choices somebody chooses, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me at all. But if I find out a buddy is into scat play, that's kind of on the same. I don't know. It's not quite child.
No, but still.
But still, it doesn't seem.
I don't listen to Chuck Berry anymore.
What did Chuck Berry do?
He's into scat play.
Chuck Berry?
There's videos of him, yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of Chubby Checker.
Oh, no. Chubby Checker was into eating.
Why do I know the name Chuck Berry? What song was it?
Johnny B. Good.
Oh, okay.
He was the original rock and roll African American guitarist.
Who was Chubby Checker? I know
Chubby
that-
Checker. Come on, baby, let's do it. Because that's all.
It'd be
he could
funny
do.
if Chubby
That's all-
Checker was into
That's all
it.
Chubby Checker could do was this. He was too fat. No scat play for him.
He'd be Ozempic. He'd be Skinny Checker now. What was the so Chuck Berry was into scat?
Yeah.
How do
Videos,
they know
scat
that for
videos.
real, or is it just a rumor?
Yeah,
because that's
no,
a
it's
shitty,
for real. They
it's a
got
shitty
I'm
rumor.
pretty sure they got Chuck Berry scat videos.
No,
Pretty sure.
pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
You can't just put that
I'm
out
pretty
there.
sure. I'm almost positive.
Wow, that's hardcore.
Google when you get home.
Nope. Nope.
Google Chuck Berry.
There's not a
scat.
VPN strong enough in the world for me to get Google that. No way.
Come on, do it. Google Chuck Berry scat.
I'll have to go to a local McDonald's and pick up on their Wi-Fi and
FBI will be
do
at
my dirty searches.
FBI be at your house in a heartbeat.
Don't.
Yeah, forgot.
There's this great video of the feds and they're raiding this place.
Yeah.
And they can't get through the gate, so they're climbing over it. And then the gate just opens up. This is an electronic gate. And there's some fed that's stuck on the top of the gate while it's opening. And we're going, that's pretty much...
That's par for the course.
Yeah.
All the agencies they're going down. Nobody, good quality people don't think of law enforcement as an option nowadays, because it's a shit job. You got to wear a camera. Everything you do is going to be looked under a microscope. Ugh.
You know what sounds kind of sweet, though? Being a firefighter.
I was trying to talk Trace into that. I'm like, 1 day on, 3 day off.
And
1 day on, 3 days off in Pasco.
Well,
That's a fucking gig.
And like whenever I go to this grocery store and you'll see the fire truck parked out in the parking lot. So the dudes are in there and they're just bringing up food to the register and refilling the fridge at the station.
Yeah.
And they all look like boys. They all look like dudes that you'd want to chill with, and then you go back to the house. It's almost like having like a college dorm experience on some level a couple days a week. And then you go home, and occasionally, in the interim, you save somebody, you fight a fire, or you let them die. It's one of the three. But it's
a frat house.
Yeah, it seems like a frat house on the government dime that does good things, but I don't know. It seems kind of chill.
I think you have to deal with a lot of bad car accidents and shit.
Well, look, you can't have a frat house all the time. You're gonna have some gore.
Yeah, I'm not. I would never be. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't.
You'd be the last one down the. Mike, come on, we gotta go.
I quit.
Yeah, the stuff they've seen has got to be gruesome.
I can't do any of that stuff.
But I don't. But yeah, Trace would probably be okay seeing it, right? Or no?
Yeah, he'd probably be fine.
Just get numb to it.
I'm sure everybody has to get used to it. If the first time you see some gory shit on the side of the road, you're like, oh.
Well, wait, not a paramedic.
Yeah, but sometimes I think the firefighters might,
They got to get involved and
first
see it too.
Whoever can get there first. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, all I know is it seems kind of cool.
It seems I'm the 1 day on, the 3 day off. I was like, that's living the life right there.
1 day on, 3 days off. So you're working 2 days a week essentially.
Yeah, because I imagine you're working 24 hours.
Yeah.
Then you're off for 72 hours. Sweet.
Oh, man. It's like a mini retirement every 3 days.
And you're sleeping through half your shift.
Well, I was just going to say
right?
that. Well,
yeah, they don't make you stay up for 24. I mean, if you get a call, you got to get up. But
not on my Ambien, I'm not.
Where's Lloyd?
He's in the kitchen making nachos. Half asleep.
It's better to me, but I'd be a firefighter before I'd be a cop. I'm not gonna be. I'm not.
Oh, definitely.
I'm not ever walking up to a car. on any traffic stop, not knowing who's in there, whether they could have a fucking gun. Blam.
You are so right, especially after, and they do it after, it's one thing to have like a mystery car there, but sometimes they'll run the plate.
Yeah.
And then they know it's somebody that's not supposed to be on the road, or they know it's somebody with a warrant. And then they still pull them over and knock on the door.
Hey.
Like,
I'm amazed, I'm amazed that there aren't cops getting shot all the time from dirtbags with warrants who get pulled over, like every day.
That's what I mean, it's so, again, it goes back to we actually are living in a pretty civilized society in the grand scope.
Even as dirtbaggy as we are.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Give ourselves some credit.
It's not that bad.
Yeah. Could be worse.
Maybe it's just where we live. Maybe there's plenty of hellhole places in this country. Maybe we're worse than the third world country. Maybe you go to a third world country, they got bad neighborhoods. Maybe we've got 10 times more bad neighborhoods. I don't know. I don't know nothing about it.
I always say, at least in Florida, because that's all I can really speak to, is we are 3 miles in any direction from a mansion, a trailer park, and a train track.
Yeah.
In any direction, that's kind of where it lies. And you will see a hood right next to mansions, and the only thing separating it is a fence. A 6 foot. I don't know how I don't know how the other countries or other parts of the country works, but here it's 3 miles in any direction. You're gonna hit one of those 3 things.
The fence seems to work pretty good. Usually, if they're $1 million homes, it's more of a 6 foot brick wall, like a cement wall kind of deal. And people are like, yeah, that ain't worth it. What am I gonna get back over that wall? Nothing.
Yeah, true.
So you don't hear about a lot of ritzy communities surrounded by walls getting murdered.
Where is the shittiest part of the country now? Like, I mean,
Mississippi.
You think?
That's my bet. What do you Google?
It's got to be some back road shit.
What's the poorest state?
Yeah, let's go poorest state. I'm gonna go West Virginia.
Yeah, I take it back. It could be.
But it's an interesting question.
And the winner is Mississippi!
Oh!
Let's see if they got them rated.
You nailed it.
Let's see. Mississippi had the highest poverty rate, followed by Louisiana, New Mexico, and West Virginia.
New Mexico, that's a bit of a shocker.
There's not a lot there.
Okay.
Do you remember?
And what's there is poor, is what you're saying?
Yeah. We flew back from from Vegas. Remember flying back from Vegas?
Okay.
Just desert and mountains. Those mountains, mesas type mountains, not regular cool mountains.
Right.
Just desert mountains for like an hour or 2 hours. It's crazy. So there ain't nothing there. And what is there? That's where my son Weston is right now. He's living next to an Indian reservation.
Well, that's safe. I mean, at least that's...
Maybe. There's a lot of crime on Indian reservations.
Is there?
I think so.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought everybody's pretty zen.
No.
Or I would think so.
We stuck them out in the desert.
They're going to slaughter their own kind?
Stuck them out in the desert and gave them enough money to live on. So they're all addicts and domestic abusers.
No kidding.
That's what happens when you give people free money. That's what it is.
That was Mike just stereotyping there.
That's not a stereotype. You give any race free money and they turn into dirtbags. You give white people, black people, any race, you give them free Section 8 housing. You give anything. You give a guy, a white collar worker, a rental car, and he's gonna trash it, right?
It's so true.
That's what the whole civil rights movement was about entitlements to make a permanent underclass. So instead of uplifting the black people after slavery, we made them into a nanny. We gave them a nanny state, which guarantees failure.
We were talking, my wife and I were talking the other night about about human rights and civil rights in the country and weird stuff. And she brought up, she was like, when do you think, she was talking about like women and business owners and stuff like that and all this, but she goes, when do you think the women were allowed to get a loan on their own without a man? and I said my guesstimate of the year, and then we looked it up. But what do you think the year was where women were allowed to get a loan on their own, standing on their just being a woman?
Women didn't even get to vote until like the 20s.
Right? Like, it's so strange.
I'm going to say 1968.
Okay. It was, I'm not going to have the year exact. It was, I believe, 1981 or 1984.
That's insane.
How nuts is that?
Women have been the most discriminated against.
Now, they suck at sports. Let's just get that clear. But it doesn't mean they shouldn't be able to open a business and get loans on their own.
That's insanity.
Isn't that weird to think about?
Yeah, we did. We tried. We kept them down for so long.
They kept popping back up.
But they finally got us. But we really kept them down good for a long ass time.
Great. Now women can take out loans too.
Now they can leave us. Damn it. Damn it to hell.
Now look at our economy. See what you did, women? You and your loans?
Emerson Johnson gifted a Tier 1 sub. He's gifted 1,211. That's ungodly.
He's a Navajo.
He's a Navajo. Uncut Meaty Mandingo in the house, gifting 5 Tier 1 subs. It's a double shot between Uncut Meaty Mandingo. They're kind of competing here. We got 1,200 by Emerson Johnson and Uncut Meaty Mandingo, almost up to 1,100.
Wow. It's a real tussle for first place.
Hot damn. Beaver Smell Like Tuna says, drinking weed, smoking beer.
Who's doing that?
Beaver Smell Like Tuna.
Nice.
He's a regular Pat Travers, snorting whiskey and drinking cocaine. Beaver Smell Like Tuna, 100 bits.
Who's Pat Travers? Was he an old singer?
No, he was an old rocker. He had one hit, and it wasn't even that big of a hit, but everybody knew. No, he had two. And the one was snorting whiskey, drinking cocaine. Snorting whiskey, get it? Yeah, get it?
He's so messed up.
Yeah, he's snorting whiskey. Yeah, stupid. And then he had another one. Boom, boom, boom. Out go the lights.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I'm not saying it's good or you should know it. I'm just telling you that's the history of Pat Travers.
And any rapper these days could do that same song and go viral with a proper beat.
That's the scam call. What's that stupid rapper? I think she's from Tampa, and she won the best album of the year.
You say stupid rapper. I found her song that I heard. I didn't listen to all of it, but I actually liked her flow, to be honest. But it's Doechii, so you're talking about.
Yeah. So you take, what's the name of that song? Somebody that I used to know. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, Gautier.
Gautier. You take that song, and you just take the instrumental, and then you freestyle over it with the fucking mediocre freestyle, and you get a #1 hit. It's like, that didn't used to be a thing. You used to steal basically the guy's whole song. I was making this
Maybe
argument.
I heard a different song that I don't know.
No, I'm talking. That's her new one.
Okay.
She's doing the Gautier.
Okay.
And she's just, and it's like, fuck off.
Did you ever see the Lil Dicky freestyle?
Oh, of course.
He is so
good.
He's so good. And it's 5 minutes of him just flowing. And a white Jewish dude, and he's got a better flow than 99.8% of rappers I've ever heard. And
I'm surprised he doesn't have more. I mean, he had a couple songs, and then he did this TV show. What's he doing now?
I don't know.
He was. I think he's one of the best lyricists around.
Which is a crazy thing to say, right? Think of all the rappers and all that whole genre, and we're thinking Lil Dicky is one of the top ones.
But you said it. I think you said it a couple of weeks ago. Jason Mraz is better than Jason. Right? His lyrics are better than any hip hop out there.
Yeah, he's a better
right
rapper.
Now. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't think it's not being an old man to say, hip hop rap. It was invented. It was by the African American community to give voice to their grievances and to send a message. And it was anti-authoritative. So it was all about what? The message.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
about the message. Now you get mumble rap. I don't even know what I'm saying, man. It's like, what kind of art form is it where you can't understand the words?
Well, it reinforces your perspective too, which is always nice to hear when it's like, okay, are you off base, right? With your assessment just now, like, are you off base? And then you'll hear a legendary hip hop icon, whether it's somebody from Wu-Tang Clan or whatever the case may be, and they'll come out and go, yeah, this music now, I don't get it. I don't know what's going on. It's not, and it's like, okay, so it's not just you thinking that way, or like, here's an icon of the game.
He should know what he's talking
in a different
about.
era, right? And if he's kind of seeing the same point of view and perspective, you can kind of go, all right, at least he's co-signing it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like somebody from the Klan's going, this music's terrible.
I think like everything else in culture and society and civilization, it goes like this. And then you hit a certain point. I don't know when it was, the 90s or the 2000, the music started going like this. And it's just going to get, it'll get worse and worse. And that's just the way it is. I don't know if it's planned. I don't understand it. I mean, I listened to Kendrick Lamar and I'm just like, what? I would have been laughed off the Gong Show in 1978. I mean,
he wouldn't have been allowed on the Gong Show.
I mean, like Weird Al Yankovic, he sings in kind of made up voice, because
right, he's doing a gimmick
because he's not trying to imitate the guy, so he kind of came up with a funny voice. This Kendrick Lamar shit is like that. Is he a parody of himself? It's like buckwheat bullshit. What kind of shit is this? It's embarrassing, and
Next
everybody
year,
say hey, yeah. It's like that old gag. What the fuck? Why?
Next year at Super Bowl, I don't even want music. Just give me a magician. Give me a really great magician. Just to take the halftime show and really good magic tricks. One that's a spectacle to the eye.
Nobody can be divided over magic tricks.
Right. It's universal where everybody would go, oh, wow, that was a crazy trick, man. That was cool. Did you see that trick he did? Like, just give me a nice magic halftime show. I'll be a happy camper.
I think Kendrick Lamar was put on the halftime show by the government to create division.
Ooh.
That's what I think.
A plant.
A plant.
Wow.
I think the government controls the music industry, and they're dumbing us down, making us. I look at Morgan.
I would disagree with you on that one.
I look at Morgan Wallen filling up stadiums. I was like, he's got a couple snappy tunes. Since when did all these people get to? I get Taylor Swift. She's been around a long time, and she's got a huge following. But when did all these other jobbers get to start doing stadium tours? Fucking Morgan Wallen's been around for 3.5 years.
He's killing it. You got to give him credit. Give him his props.
But like when I hear Morgan Wallen's voice, I'm not like, wow.
Right.
When I hear his songs, I'm like, what's the new one?
But it's a fun concert to go to, and
why is he doing stadiums when he wouldn't?
Because you can find 40,000 women who want to dress up in Daisy Dukes in cowboy hats and drink. That's why. And sing a couple poppy songs from a guy who's in his late 20s or 30s or whatever who seems relatable.
He's no Luke Bryan.
I don't know what to say.
It was country music, then it went to the bro country. Now it's I don't know.
Well, it used to be hick hop. Remember hick hop?
Schmo country. Hick hop.
That was hot for a minute.
Yeah, not that, yeah.
Cowboy Troy and Big Smo and all these guys. Demon Jones. Hick hop.
I hate that whole genre. I loathe it.
I'm surprised to hear that. I figured you'd be a big fan of a hick hop.
I'm a fan of genius, of brilliant things that move me. And I don't think there's a lot of that going on anymore. You look at movies movies used to be epic, and now you look at them like, well, they made that in about 6 weeks for about $8 million because they wanted some cash. That's the business model now.
I was kind of happy to see that Snow White movie bombed.
I was too, of course.
And I don't have a dog in the fight or a care in the world, and I don't know why I even smirked at the news of it, but when I saw it, I was kind of like, huh, good. I don't know.
Because in your feed, Rachel Ziegler is made out to be a fucking snitty little egomaniac woke bitch.
Now, you're right. She is made out to be that way.
But she kind of seems like that's how she is.
It doesn't, yeah, her perception's not great. But I will say, I think for me, what I don't like about that, or I'm happy it tanked, is I don't like them doing the live action movies. They're just going back to the well of these fantastic old cartoons that were the original and going, okay, we got no ideas. Nothing new. Anybody got anything new? Nothing new. Okay, tell you what we're going to do. Let's just reboot this one, but we'll do it with people this time and some special effects. But I don't like that. I think that's such a fucking pussy way out of creativity to recreate a cartoon, which honestly, some of those cartoons were questionable to begin with as far as, you know, the storylines and plots. It was all very weird shit. But that's, I think...
It was a different time.
It what?
It was the 60s. 50s. I don't know when Snow White's old as dirt.
She could be old as dirt, but the plot is fucked up. There's some...
She's living with some midgets.
The whole thing is... It's bananas to even think about, much less...
She gets date raped?
Yeah. An overage prince kisses her and she's only like 13. I don't know what it...
I don't think she was 13.
I think she was super young.
I'm Googling, was Snow White underage?
Yep.
Is that going to get the cops called to me?
I'll put... Hold on.
How old was Snow White?
Hold on, wait. Don't Google it yet. Let's put money on it.
I say she's of age.
I'm saying underage. Let's do $1. Virtual handshake.
Virtual handshake.
All right.
How old was Snizzo Wizite? And the answer is... What?
I believe I just won $1. Based on your reaction, I'm going to say I won the $1.
What? I got Donna, I need $1. Okay. I'm gonna start with the least shocking one. I'm gonna start with the least shocking one.
Okay.
Disney's version. In Disney's animated film, Snow White is depicted as being 14 years old.
Bam! Yeah.
In the Grimm brothers version of the story, Snow White is 7 years old.
Oh my God.
That's uncomfortable. I'm going to move along.
Wasn't the Grimm the original?
Yeah, the original fairy tale.
So the original, she's 7.
7.
All right. Life expectancy is probably 12, but whatever.
Snow White is 14?
Yep.
14? That Disney was a creep. He was a creep. He's like, 7's too young. Make her 14.
And have her live with midgets.
Oh, and then the handsome prince.
Lots of midgets.
Date rape.
Yeah.
That's a fucking messed up thing.
They're all creepy. Rapunzel, I mean, she's locked in. Like, how old was Rapunzel, do you think?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
I'm totally...
Now, before you Google, I'll go double or nothing.
Okay.
I will I'll go 16 or under.
Okay.
You can go 17 and up if you want.
I'll go 17 and up.
All right, I'm going 16 or under on Rapunzel.
How old was Rapunzel? Let's see.
And I don't know this one. Just taking a guess. Going based off a track record.
This doesn't... I don't think Tangled counts. That's too recent.
Yeah.
So let's go. I'm going to
get... The original Rapunzel.
Okay, I don't want Tangled. I want the old school Rapunzel. God damn you to hell. Okay, so I'm gonna have to Google something else. How old was we're over time. We need to stop. After we find out about Rapunzel, we gotta go.
After we find out Rapunzel's age.
Yeah, after we find out Rapunzel was underage with all that long flowing hair. Oh. The fairy tale version.
See, I'm skipping right past you. Well, no, I'm not. I'm going deep seek.
It's not implied in the Grimm's fairy tale, but it doesn't explicitly state her age, but it's implied that she is a young woman, likely in her late teens or early 20s.
Likely. Late teens.
Don't tell you. I don't think it's gonna work out. No.
I don't think you got one, the Snow White, where she's 14 and then all of a sudden Rapunzel's a woman of age, is my point. I think they're
14.
all... I think all those fairy tales were
Disney was a
creepy.
nasty. 14, disgusting.
Walt, you old son of a bitch,
old
you.
dirty dog. All right, thanks for tuning in to The Hang.
We'll do OT.
Cluster F Show. Available only on clusterfshow.com, the VIP section. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow morning, Cluster F, 8 o'clock. Everybody have a good one.